too. Little fella. Just getting up, man. Trying to get this day started. You know what I mean? Gotta start the day off right. Get up. Grab you a clean hot shower. Get something to eat. Pray, whatever it takes. Get it moving.
Welcome, professional drivers. As a courtesy to other drivers, please pull forward from the diesel islands when you're finished fueling. Thank you. Attention, professional drivers. We currently have no wait for a shower. Please park your truck, come inside, and get a clean hot shower. Thank you for stopping at Pilot.
Right here. Voila.
I say that she works. She ain't got no money in the bank. See me walking around looking all night. And now she at the party looking at me. Hope my seat you can say that me. I ain't gonna say that girl. I ain't gonna say that girl. I ain't gonna say that girl. She got a hand on her. I ain't gonna say that girl.
Keep a nigga motivated. We all need a little motivation. Money keep a hell motivated. We all need a little motivation.
Coming back in. Today I'm gonna talk about signing on with Dart Transit. Talk to you from my experience. At the same time, I'm gonna make me a NutriBullet smoothie. Hey, you gotta get one of these, y'all. Gotta get one of these. I save 10 to 15 bucks a day on a NutriBullet smoothie versus me going into a TA or a Pilot or McDonald's, Arby's, whatever, get me a unhealthy meal or hearty meal, whatever you want to call it. So this is what I'm going to say about it, man. My experience personally, I've wanted to work for Dart after coming from my last company. And I had three options, whether I wanted to work for Dart or if I wanted to work for company B or company C. But what I was looking at, really coming out of a lease purchase program, is getting back into one again. Yeah, that's kind of stupid, you know, some may say. But I have a plan. And it didn't work out well the first time around I did it. And there were some mistakes made, and I corrected those mistakes before I go into this one. I had a better plan, a better mindset, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna go towards it and go about it. And I did. So what I ended up doing was going to Dart. Now Dart, they're a little tough in the hiring process because what it really boiled down to in my situation personally was verifying my recent employers. And one of them is just terrible at picking the phone up. And usually employers got 30 days to respond to the verification process. Other two employers, no problem. This one was staggering. And if they go out of business, you can get away with a W-2 or 1099. If they paid you for that year, you can turn it in and show them as proof that you work for that company. So, something to keep in mind because that's what I had to do. And I ended up getting hired. Now, the hiring process or getting there, you know, any company will give you a rent-a-car, rent-a-car if you're lucky. A bus ticket, plane ticket. I chose a plane ticket. And me living in Florida, I had to drive up to where I wanted to drive up. No, I flew. No, I didn't drive up there. I actually flew out of Atlanta. No, I flew out of Jacksonville to Atlanta and Atlanta over to Texas. They got 4 different facilities. Now, reality, they have one in Atlanta. Why I went to Texas is because depending on what you're doing, whether it's lease purchase, company driver, owner operator, they go by what trucks are available. Now, company driver, you can go to any terminal because as long as they got a truck available, it don't matter. But if you choose to do lease purchase, as I did, you will get the choice of picking which truck they have available for you at that time, and that changes every week. So whatever they have this week may not be next week, or next week be a whole different list than this week. So if you don't have a truck available going in orientation, wait a week if you can. I don't know where everybody's financial situation is like. Me, I was ready to go back to work. So, and I had a mindset anyway, so I was specifically looking for things. They'll give you a choice of what they have available. Now, here's the trucks they have available. They have a Volvo 670, but it looks like it's the box kind, not the newer model like everybody's been seeing, not with the black headlights, but with the regular headlights. They still got the halogen lights, or whatever you want to call them, on the front. Kind of like a 2012 model, if you ask me. They have those, which are usually popular and maybe the cheapest. They have the Kenworth T680s. Anybody that knows Kenworth loves the T680, which are a little bit more expensive on the food chain. And then now they have 780s, the new ones, with the black lights, the bright blue lights on it. Everybody like to get on their trucks now, which is probably the top of the crop for a Dart, especially since 780. Not a 670, 780. And then they also have, what I chose was a Cascadia. Now, why did I choose a Cascadia? I chose a Cascadia because the Cascadia was also going to end up getting eventually anyways. And I had one before, and I have nothing but Cascadia, so I know a lot about Cascadia as far as maintenance, what they do, how they work, room space, so on and so forth. Now, since they don't have APUs and Dart don't provide APUs for the trucks, you'll be very, 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 very lucky if you get one with one on there. But Cascadia, out of all their trucks, is the only one with the option of a thing called optimized idle. Anybody, I know Volvos have them, other trucks may have them, but this company has optimized idle. And what that is you can set the temperature in the bunk. As long as you leave the truck running and turn the cruise control on and let the truck cut off on its own within, a couple minutes or whatever. Set the temperature control to AC or heat. Set the thermostat to whichever one you pick. Set the for it to cut on, and it'll keep it within either a 3, 6, or a 10-degree range of wherever you set it at. So if you set it at 70 and you got the range set at 10 and it's on cool, if it's at 70, when it heats up to 80, the truck will cut on and cool it back down to 70, then it cut off. Just like if you had it set to heat and you wanted to set on 70, it'll cool down at 60 before it cut back on and warm back up to 70. So Cascadia's got that nice option. I feel like if you're paying for your own diesel, you need any fuel saving things you can get, because believe you me, you will idle if you don't have an APU or optimized idle. You will idle because it's either going to be too hot or too cold. Now, all the trucks that I've seen do have bunk heaters in them. So in the winter, you can turn your bunk heater on or whatnot, which is a really good thing. I actually got to get mine serviced before it gets cold out here myself within the next month or two. I have an APU on my truck, and that's a whole nother video story, whatever, if you haven't seen it yet. So, flying into Texas, I said they have 4 locations. Eagan is their central headquarters. So Minnesota or Minneapolis, St. Paul, Texas, of course, Dallas is the one I went to. They got one in Indiana, close to Louisville, and then they also have one in Atlanta. Now they built a new one in Ohio. I don't know if it's an operating center or just a maintenance area, but I have not been there yet. But anyways, going into orientation. So They get you a hotel room. When you do land and get there, they give you a taxi cab to the hotel room or whatnot. Of course, you know when your orientation is going to start. It's typically 2 days. So, the first day, you're going to get crammed with a lot of information, do your drug tests, your physicals if you haven't already did them. Now, if you have done a DOT physical within the last, I believe, 30 days or 45 days, maybe even 60, ask them if you're not sure. It's been a while since I did it. I just did a DOT physical before it started. Actually, I did one, okay, it might be 90 days. Yeah, it might be 90 days, not 30 days, 90 days. So if you did one within the last 90 days, you have to have the long form in the card. If you have that on you at hand at orientation, not in your hotel room, not at home, if you got it on your person, you do not have to take a DOT physical during the orientation process. They'll just make a copy of what you have and put it on file, and then whenever it run out, you got to take it again, whatever. They did, for the Texas location, put us in a decent hotel. I was happy with it. I was kind of mad that I left stuff there, but it has a buffet style breakfast. They have live entertainment on certain nights of the week. They have a pool. The Wi-Fi is pretty decent for anybody that likes to get on a laptop or PS4s or Xbox Ones or whatever. And they do have a shuttle that gets you around the local area. You're around a lot of food, Walmart, Waffle House, Crackle Barrel, stuff like that. And you're not the only company orientation in that building. You might have companies like CRST in there at the same time, and so on and so forth. Whatever. So, you get shuttled there. You come back at the end of the day, usually around 5 o'clock. The first day, you're going to be there till 5 o'clock. After orientation, they do provide lunch. You will meet your people you need to meet. My personal experience was we did like a 3-way call with the Egan location, and we did an orientation like that. A lot of things need to be mentioned, but I will put them in other videos. Generally, just give you a quick run through of the orientation process. So, of course, once you're done your drug test, your physical, they're really waiting on the results from your drug tests. If you know you're clean, you're clean. You ain't got to worry about it. Kick back, chill until you get your truck and all that. The truck is already there prepped. They usually put a big piece of paper in the windshield with your name on it to let you know that's the truck you were assigned to. Like I said, depending on what truck you pick over the phone before you even go to orientation, depends on what center you're going to if you're lease purchase. Company drivers, I'm not so sure. It might just give you whatever's available, which ain't bad because it's usually newer trucks. And basically, once you go through orientation the first 2 days, you check out, you get in your truck, make sure everything's good. Make sure everything's good. You need to hear me close, because as soon as you drive off and do your first load or whatever, if the batteries smell like rotten eggs as soon as you leave, you got to pay for the batteries. If your optimized auto don't work, you got to pay to get that fixed. If your headlights is out, or if your bed won't fold up, or your airline busted, or whatever, anything you can think of happens after you leave that lot, is on you. So, that being said, be real mindful of that. And in between that, they do have food trucks that come in 2 or 3 times a day. They got pretty decent food on it. Other than that, it's really kicked back. The company is really kicked back. I actually do enjoy Dart on that aspect because they are really kicked back. You really won't have problems with them. You really, really won't. Dart, I do have to say on a good note, is probably the best mega carrier company I've worked for so far. But yeah, anybody that's watched my previous videos know I'm an owner-operator, and I will do a separate video from an owner-operator's point of view working with Dart. So, I got a lot of videos coming up soon, so stick with me, like and subscribe. Any comments or any questions you want to know about Dart, I'll do my best to answer it. If I already got it coming in an upcoming video, you'll just see it. So thanks for watching Little Fella Trucking. I'll check back with y'all in a minute.